If you throw a piece of plastic garbage into a river or sea anywhere on Earth, is it possible to estimate where this piece will eventually end up? There are way too many factors for us to predict anything like that, but we can make an educated guess based on data collected by buoys dropped into the sea. Our piece of plastic is first heading north to the Barents Sea in the Arctic Ocean, before it then floats through the Greenland Sea into the Atlantic. Here, something strange happens. Our piece of plastic seems to be circling in one area of the ocean, almost as if it is trapped. And it's not alone. This is the North Atlantic garbage patch, where natural ocean currents accumulate large amounts of trash. This computational simulation shows that if we place thousands of particles evenly across the ocean, they will eventually form this migration pattern. And the North Atlantic doesn't have the only garbage patch. There's also one in the South Atlantic, as well as in the Indian Ocean, the South Pacific, and the North Pacific. Now, if you
Alright, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to get into a lesson on how pretty much the so-called white man is the problem. Concerning the problems on the planet Earth, the source is the so-called white man. And the clip I played is one of many evidence that proves that this man is not fit, to rule. Because now, under the watch of the so-called white man, these new terms have came upon the planet Earth. Trash islands, or as they said, a garbage patch, which that garbage patch wasn't reserved to just that. It said the North Atlantic garbage patch, but guess what? It's some in the Indian Ocean, it's some in the Pacific Ocean, and it just shows you, who it goes back to, the so-called white man. Whether it was some fucking gooks or a fucking dot head was dealing with waste management and they dumped it into the ocean. Well, who gave them the plastic? Who gave them the resources to bring forth these things that's not that cannot go back into the earth? Esau, man. Like I said, the terms is trash islands. And that's, you see the results of that is by the way of these animals beaching themselves. That has never been a term, say, till the so-called white man came into power. Beaching, which is a watered-down form of saying that animals, sea life, commit suicide. Where you have so many whales to come upon the ocean because the water is suffocating them. These different creatures. And it just don't stop there. You have chemtrails and air pollution. It is even now, matter of fact, let's see if I can pull it up just for edification's sake. Let's see if it's on her. Look, air quality. Why is that a thing? And this is concerning the weather app, but as you can see, it's a session where it's air quality. And in some days it'll be bad. Some, this the best it's gonna get, moderate at that. But who it goes back to? Why is these things are happening? Because of E. Matter of fact, let's start off with that in the book of Isaiah 24. In verse 5, it reads, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof." See, so under the watch of this devil, talks about how the heavens and the earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, because there's going to be a new power, a new rulership, a new system that's going to be in play to where the earth is going to be at peace, at rest. It's going to dwell in righteousness. It's going to be a certain standard, which is the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shai. But under the watch of this man, these heavens that are now, the heaven and earth that are now, is defiled, man. This man set up these certain laws and legislations even these certain laws concerning waste management, you know, what they do with these nuclear waste, was that's a term. That's another term under the watch in the reign of terror of this man. Nuclear waste. You know, this nigga was able to seize control of the planet Earth, these different resources, uranium and plutonium and shit, which is a proper way to use those resources. But it show you he's doing it all because it's nuclear waste. You know? And they're just one of many. But as you can see, the heavens, the powers that be dictates the vibration on the earth. And as you can see, it is defiled, man, on all levels, from in a literal sense, to where the air and the water, the food quality is down, to the minds of the people. But guess who it goes back to? Esau. And that's why how fitting Ezekiel 35, it makes sense to prophesy against Mount Seir. Because this nigga is the reason why these things are taking place upon the planet Earth. That's why you got a cough, one of those dry, itchy coughs. You know, one of them coughs that goddamn make your back itch when you cough so hard. Guess what? That go back to Edom. So it says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. See? That in itself, and this man have done that. To where now you the dietary law, for an example. You know, these certain animals such as shrimp, lobster, you know, these different bottom feeders, these unclean animals was set up to filter the water. But now it's a red lobster. Now you got Joe's Crab Shack, which contribute to the failing quality of the water, man. You know, the land Sabbath, all these things is the results of him transgressing the laws. It says, change the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. See? And we see the results of it. The earth telling you this nigga is not fit, man. And that's why we know the next step for this man is destruction. You know? And like I said, they said it was a garbage patch in the Indian Ocean, as well as, you know, these other parts of the world. That shit still go back to Edom. It still go back to Esau, because this nigga is the source. He's the driving force behind the wickedness. The reason why it's a skyscraper in China that was inspired by Edom. You know, these nations falling out this man from wearing their monkey suits to speaking English, and then everything else in between, man. So it goes back. He's the source. Like I mentioned, even when this man put the plastic in the water, that wasn't a creation of Elam. That wasn't a Hamite idea. No, that was something that came from Esau, Edom. Literally, that nigga fingerprints on it. That's part of his creation. And, you know, even when the Edomite literally put the body in the water, his fingerprints on it, man. Well, on a McDonald's sign, a KFC box, whatever. You know, you might have a fucking turtle, and he got one of the little 6-pack holders around his neck. Guess what? That shit go back to Edom, man. He is the source for the wickedness that we see on the earth. This is Wisdom of Solomon 14:9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness. See? Says you can see the ungodly brings forth ungodliness. Just like how there is a stench in the air. That stench came from somewhere. America. You know, the so-called white man. Because this is what the wickedness is launched from. You know, from something as subtle as a mukbang to the extreme of they dumping nuclear waste in the ocean. That goes back to Edom, man. But as you can see, for the ungodly and his ungodliness, so that's the only thing this man brings forth as well. And we send it at a high rate to show you that he's the one that's in power, man. Are both alike hateful unto the Most High. So yeah, Lord hate the sin and the sinner, man. Especially this nigga Edom, man. He's the embodiment of it. He does everything contrary to Yahweh Hashem Shai. And we seeing the results of it. Death is on all levels, man. Not just man, you got sea life suffering, plant life. Really, everything that's living. Life itself is in danger. Why? Because this man is in power. That's why I talk about that last enemy is death, man. Because that's the only thing he brings. Let's get this in the book of Revelation 11. And this scripture makes a whole lot more sense, man. As we get closer to the perfect day, what else? You know what I mean? And the nations were, this is Revelation 11:18, the nations were angry, and thy wrath is calm, in the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. See, and who done that on a global scale? It ain't just a region of the earth that has been, you going to a documentary of Chernobyl, to where that city pretty much is abandoned from I think it was a nuclear explosion or something, and it's off limits. No, the whole world has been defiled, as we just read in Isaiah the 24th chapter. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants. Who? The so-called white man. And as you can see, you got to destroy this man, because he is destroying the earth. As you can see, as we just going, as we had the clip, it's a term, garbage patch. They want, you say a trash island, but they got specific trash islands. You got the North Atlantic garbage patch. You got the South Pacific garbage patch, the North Pacific garbage patch, the Indian garbage. Come on, man. And guess what? Who fingerprints all on it? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the Edomites. That's who it goes back to. And this nigga would try to say mankind and try to get this big recycling spirit on you. It's a thing called Green Day, and he coming in like he's the one that's trying to help the earth out. This bitch coming out with electric cars, and not somehow he's so worried about climate change and shit now. That show you that's the devil, man. Show you this the devil, man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So yeah, the earth was given into this man. And we seeing wickedness play out in his height, man. Great wickedness is taking place upon the planet Earth. And this is a form of it. Of course, it's, you have the more blatant, the LG, which we coming into that time, that period of time where these sodomites gonna turn up, man, in the time of June, man. The different laws and legislations this man passed. And this is also a form of that wickedness. This man, he don't know how to deal. You don't know how to fucking manage the earth. Number one, you got plastic bottles and shit. It can't go back into the earth. It ain't gonna be able to, go back into the earth. Just gonna be there defiling shit. And the nigga came up with a great idea to just put it in the water, in the ocean, telling on you now. So what these devils said, they put a simulation, and it's still that trash and shit still came into one little spot. But who ever heard and seen such a thing? till the so-called white man came into power, though. That's why I said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So now this nigga fingerprints on it. All the wickedness that you see, he's behind it. From a commercial, you got two homos in a commercial, but it's under a banner of selling insurance, to a motherfucker promoting a fucking crab boil. You know, even to this, the trash island, like I said, even this man, the McDonald cup, it goes back to him. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof, and he actually did that by the way of defacing our Lord, you know, the prophets, as well as he covered the way of Yahweh Shema Shai, the law, statute, commandment. That's why I say he changed the ordinance, and also it talks about how he cast the words behind him, man. So that's a form of him covering the faces of the judges. And that's why we see what we see today, a lawless generation, a lawless, time that we're in. To where there's no standard. And now we seeing it. Everything is to shits now. It says, if not, where and who is he? And I dare you to say the Arabs. Because then guess what? My counter for that is, who came up with the nuclear waste? Who came up with this thing called a plastic bottle? Chemtrails, where they actually spray Baal in the air. You know, the element of, I believe it's barium and aluminum. What you put it together is Baal, man. If it's not the so-called white man, where and who is he? Because this nigga doing a great job now of showing you he wicked. You know, but yeah, I just hope to be edifying. I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. I like to say shalom to the elect that's teaching this word in our true faith and sincerity. DTA, abide but bow soon, very soon.